Are we live? You guys hear me? Well, as some of you may know, I need a work computer. I tried to do that. Shit got complicated because Apple wanted to make it complicated, right? I think that's the best way. So basically, I got a fucking headache just trying to save a little bit of money, and don't mind this anyway. I do need this. I do need this. Don't mind this right now though. So pre-orders went live October 30th. Wanted to see if there'll be some sales, maybe something I could purchase. Not really. Then the next day we went live again on November 1st. B&H did start rolling out some sales. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just wait and see a little longer. Because I was trying to buy it. I was ready. I had my card ready. I was ready to just plow, give me that. But I was like, it's not even out yet. Like, why am I like rushing to pre-order it? There's no incentive or anything. There's no like free storage upgrade. There's nothing. So pre-orders rolled out, and today is November 8th. Today is the day of no more pre-orders. Today's the day it's supposed to have shipped. Some people have received their device today. I hope they're loving their new machine. Excuse my hair also, by the way. So I hope they're loving their new machine, and we're just gonna do a little research and see what's out there. If there's a holiday head start, beat the rush sale going on, approaching this Black Friday, feel free to join me. Let's get a little music in here. I do have a subscription. So, what you guys want to hear? What you guys want to hear? What you guys want to hear? Something low key? Something low key? Okay. It's not too overbearing, I hope. Hopefully we're hearing pretty much the same. I also don't want to make the same mistake as last time. Let me get the live up in here. Cause I suck at that. I don't know what song this is, but it's not too bad, right? Okay, just give me a second. Just gonna listen to. Not bad. I don't know what song this is, but it's not too bad, right? Cool. I like it. Back at it. If you guys are watching, anybody, show some love. Subscribe, like, share, comment. A lot to do over here. So let's get back to the business. Let's change the song as well. Let's do this. Is not what I'm looking for. Hold on. Autumn leaves. I want something nice playlist. Okay, we could do this. We could do this. You know what I did last time? I did some jazz last time, and it was. Yeah, let's try some of this. Yeah. Helps me concentrate. Keeps me where I need to be. By the way, if you're looking at this, I need an 8 terabyte fucking SSD, internal SSD, and then I need to sell the 4 terabyte that I have and get another 8 terabyte so that I can have at least 16 terabytes on this computer. That will help. I'm grateful that this can even get up to 16 terabytes. All right, back to business. Back to business. First of all, let's never a sale. I'm also interested in the Remarkable. Yeah, definitely Pro. Hopefully they drop a sale. No sales right now, but Microsoft needs to drop the price on this. They need to make it more accessible. That would be their biggest. It's too high. No one's trying to buy that. Everyone's trying to buy this. Why would you fucking morons? Excuse me, Microsoft. I do apologize, but like, nobody's gonna be like, alright, I got $12.99 for an iPad, but come on, enough. Get the new iPad. That's gonna have the nano texture. Can you get the nano texture on iPad? It's a good question, right? This for being punched in the face with the price. You gotta get the fucking pencil. It is what it is, you know. With more free engraving. You're laugh and cry because of the price again. Wow, look at this. It's so impressive. Do need that keyboard. Hopefully it's also lighter as well, right? Because the iPad is lighter, so I would assume that the base would also be lighter. Yeah, for sure. Gotta get that. Let's see if we trade in. You guys made it. Oh my goodness. Serial number? I don't have it right now. Alright. I believe my girl took her iPad. She definitely has her iPad with her. Yeah, she has her iPad with her. Alright, so my girl definitely has her iPad with her, so I'm not gonna be able to do it. But let's say no trade-in. $2,600. No Apple Care. How am I at 3,000? What happened? I didn't add the Apple Care. Yeah, okay. $26.99. I'm lost. Well, $25.99 plus 8.875%. It's 28.29. Not. Can somebody tell me what happened here? Please? Somebody tell me how the fuck it went from $25.99, no Apple Care. Is it cause just the iPad is $25.99? Yeah. It's not bad. Not bad. My bad. I'm all up on the screen. I look frozen. It's hilarious. I'm looking at myself. I look real stupid right now. I'm looking at myself. Look. I look dumb as hell. And this video is playing. Look at me. Realizing how dumb I look. What a dumbass. Let me find out why my dog's barking. What's up, Grandma? Anyway, so that solves the. Let's change the song. I'm killing y'all with this, right? I don't know what this is. This is nice. If it was on sale, it'd be even nicer. I feel like man, Matt closer to me, right? Yeah, I was. I'm bugging. I'm a dumbass. Much better. Check up. M3 Pro, $400 off. It's not bad. $1,500. This is what I'm saying. I'm looking for. By the way, I know we veered off from the main subject, but we are back. This is what I'm saying. $15.99. I walk away with a space black beauty right here. Shit. What we got over here by 2 terabyte? Macbook only. There no sales on this shit, man. How you guys give no? How you give no sale? Explain this shit to me. How you give no sale? That's cray. There you go. The cheapest MacBook Pro (14-inch) that I could buy right now is a silver one for $11.99. That's crazy. This is crazy. Do you guys see this? This is fucking crazy. All right, but let's start being a little bit more realistic. Can't be doing the 512s. Minimum gigi, terabyte. My bad. And RAM. Color black. Gotta get the black. Gotta get black. Sorry if that sounds racist. It's not at all. It's just not on sale. Why is it still pre-order? When is it expected to ship? I could get shit. I could get this shit delivered to me tomorrow for $9. Right here, in my hands. Okay. I don't know. It's a little crazy. I feel like I was on a pirate ship. Okay. Wow. 14 MacBook Pro M4. I think it's time to pull the trigger. Okay, I was just checking something. But welcome back. Today we don't have anyone watching, but that's okay. That's okay. Wow. Snowy. We're not there yet. We'll do it closer to the end of the year. I think we're gonna be. I think bring it back to the classic. How's the color? It's a little bit better. I don't care too much about this. It just needs to have a minimum. Gray storage. I wrote one. I put one. No. Nothing ever. Fucking piece of shit. It's really not right. Nothing ever on sale for 4 terabytes. This is really sad. Even 2 terabyte. Nothing even from last year. Nothing. That's just crazy. I just can't even believe what I'm fucking seeing right now. Everybody knows what everybody wants for the holidays. I don't know. Best Buy might be the move. It's really sad, man. Why couldn't B&H carry this? Do they like sell them back? Do they sell them back to Apple? I mean, I just don't understand, because Apple didn't even have this many, man. Because I really need B&H to have it so that I don't have to pay the tax on it. Does it allow me to do the processor? Yeah. Any M2? M2, they got one M2 here. Apply. Got a 14-inch M2. It's unreal. Better off just getting the latest one. So the cheapest 8 terabyte is $5,000, and it's fucking it's the same price. Please explain this to me. How can this be the same price? How? And just yeah, another 150 for the I got some food for later, man. Okay. 4. I'm gonna bring you this over. Relax, relax. But it's 4 terabytes. gotta stop buying this 512 storage shit, man. It's painful. I don't know what I did, but I'm gonna undo it. Oh my god. It's not funny, but this is a scam right here. M3. Wow. It's fucking unbelievable. Just having a scam right there for us to see it. It's just like that. 512. I mean, these 512s are killing me right now. This fucking idiot. You fucking moron. You copy and pasted this with no... Alright, let's see what 40 pounds is gonna respond with. Nothing here. 4 terabytes. It's really sad, man. What's the cheapest brand new one? 4 terabytes, $31.99. Cheapest. And then with Nano. So this one that I can't seem to save any fucking money on, sorry. And for 400 more, you know, get 48 gigabyte, why not? You're almost there. Or you could just bump up the cores for 200 more. That's so crazy. It's so crazy that they do that. But anyway, that's a lot of money. $33.50 for 4 terabytes. I'll be working off the SSD. I think 4 terabytes is the right thing to do. Might need this soon. Check it out during Black Friday. Two terabytes is pretty sweet. Don't have to be 4. They're kind of trying to murder me for 4. All right. This breaks my heart, because what if, as I'm using it, as I'm learning new things, as I'm tackling and approaching new chapters of my life, and like, this is really not fair, because like, I am growing as a person and I need something that's gonna grow with me. I need it for work. It's really unfortunate. How long we been on? 38 minutes. That's shit. Fucking time flies. This is really unfair though, you know? But it is what it is. But we can't keep hesitating. Hesitating ain't it. That would be this. This would be $48. Is 1 terabyte enough? How can it be? If I could, man, I'd get this one right here, man. Right here. $6,000. Since none of the other ones are on sale. But what if on Black Friday? What if on Black Friday the M3s with, are they all special order? Let me open the windows a little cold. Open the door at me. It's here. I can special order it. I fell for it again. Literally fell for it again and ended up here. I'm not falling for that. I have my cart ready. My cart has 3 options. 27.50. No, don't need to go that high. Like, I should just stick to what I need, right? Storage is a thing. Gonna be running a lot of different shit. Damn. Different projects, photography. So unfair. Nah. Because why would I need that? Because all of that is going to be in here. Why would I do that? Yeah, I wouldn't. I hate you, Apple. You're gonna take my money, and I understand. It is what it is. There's a discount on 4 terabyte. Why was I thinking there was none? There is a discount on 4 terabyte. Looks like there isn't when I have it low to high. Where does the discount kick in? Right here. Cheapest 4 terabyte. This is how you should do it. This is what you need. This is how you should do it. Yeah, you could want more than that. And then what's the cheapest 8 terabyte? 31 immediately goes to 53. Right. And then we can't do the M2 Pro because B&H just doesn't carry it because they don't want to carry it. Don't know if that's on purpose or not. So we're going back 4 terabyte, and then price it low to high. And this is the options that we have, and this is the bullet that we're gonna have to bite. I know we don't want to give Apple our money. None of us wants to give Apple money right now, but they're killing the game right now, man. So it's right here, space black. Just want to see something. If I did them max, I'm at 4. Just for getting the max chip. You know what time it is? Hilarious. All right, let's pause the music for now. Let's hear what Greg's Gadgets has to say. Shout out to Greg's Gadgets. I have seen his videos before. Puts in a lot of work, a lot of attention to detail. Please feel free to like and subscribe his videos. I'm not in any way trying to steal any of his hard work. Just appreciating it, and would love to learn myself as well.
Strongest computer that Apple has ever made, even stronger than their Mac Pro. What I was not expecting though was that the lower end M4 Pro chip would also beat out the Mac Pro and take the mantle as the second strongest Mac chip. And not just on the Mac, Apple is literally dominating the charts with their M4 CPU performance. So the big question now, a week before these come out, while you're still deciding which Mac to order, should you get the M4 Pro chip or should you get the M4 Max chip? Because the answer might actually surprise you. All right, guys, we have some serious momentum here. The goal of 400,000 subs before the end of the year is alive and well, all because you guys are killing it. So no big speech here. Let's keep the momentum going, sub to the channel, and let's talk about these new M4 Pro and M4 Max chips. All right, so when we're discussing the M4 Pro and the M4 Max MacBook Pros, it is important to note right off the bat that these are the same laptops. There's no difference in ports. There's no difference in camera or speakers or display or anything like that. The difference between these Macs is just the chips themselves. But that also shows up in some surprising areas, including the exact types of configurations you can make depending on which chip you pick. So for the M4 Pro, it starts at $2,000 for the 14-inch MacBook Pro for a binned version with a 12-core CPU and a 16-core GPU. To get the full 12-core version with a 20-core GPU, you have to spend $200 more. The 16-inch MacBook Pro, however, does start with the full M4 Pro chip, and there is no option for a lower-end version, but the starting price of that laptop is much higher at $2,500. Now, there is some interesting things to note here about the M4 Pro. First of all, the memory starts at 24 gigabytes, and it only has one upgrade option to 48 gigabytes. And the 48 gigabyte option is $400 more. Now, while 48 gigabytes is a lot of memory, there is something really strange about this, and that's because technically you should be able to upgrade the M4 Pro chip all the way to 64 gigabytes of memory, considering the M4 Pro Mac Mini has an option for a 64 gigabyte configuration. I'm not sure why Apple isn't giving the M4 MacBook Pro the same love, especially because I think the MacBook is a much more popular computer than the Mac Mini, so I feel like it would actually have more sense to have more configurations on that than the Mac Mini. So yes, the M4 Pro MacBook Pro Max is out at 48 gigabytes of memory. But let's answer another question. Is it worth upgrading to the M4 Pro chip for $200 more? Well, right now there are no leaked benchmarks of the base model M4 Pro chip, even though we do have leaks of the higher end chip versions. That's because Apple does not usually send the base model unit to reviewers. However, I can do some simple math to see what those results would look like by dividing the 14-core CPU benchmark and then multiplying that number by 12. So take this number with a little bit of a pinch of salt, but this is probably around the number that we will see, and you can see some nice gains in CPU performance with those extra 2 cores. You're netting around a 21% improvement in multi-core CPU performance. As for GPU performance, well, I have to do the same thing here, but getting the 20-core M4 Pro GPU gives you around the same jump with a 22% performance increase. So for $200, you are getting basically around a 20% performance bump on both multi-core CPU performance and GPU performance, making this upgrade highly worth it if you care about either one of those additional specs. And as you can see in just a moment of foreshadowing, this is probably the best valued upgrade you can make for your entire MacBook Pro. Because after this, well, I said foreshadowing, but spoiler alert, it does get murky. Because let's look at the M4 Max. If you're upgrading to this, you're gonna be spending a lot more money because the cheapest 14-inch M4 Max MacBook Pro starts at $3,199, and that's for the lower end 14-core CPU variant. Now, you might say, why is there such a big price jump for just a chip? Well, that's because Apple is forcing you into some upgrades here, whether you want them or not. First of all, you must get the M4 Max with 1 terabyte of storage.
So he did a really good job explaining that they making this fucking really complicated. They're purposely removing few options that are clearly possible, as you saw with the Mac Mini that has the M3 that can get 48 gigabytes RAM or 64. So it's really fucked up. Really fucked up. Let's continue.
Is no 512 gigabyte option. Secondly, the M4 Max comes with 36 gigabytes of RAM, not 24 gigabytes. And again, there is no option to go any lower than that. Basically, if we take an M4 Pro with similar specs, again, no 36 gigabyte option there, so you have to pick between 24 or 48 gigabytes. So on the lowest, you're looking at an $800 upgrade to the M4 Max chip plus $200 for 1 terabyte of storage. Now, the question we have to determine is that upgrade worth it? Well, let's be as kind and as generous as we possibly can be by also adding 48 gigabytes of memory to the M4 Pro, which is 12 more gigabytes than the 32 gigabyte M4 Max. And with 1 terabyte of storage, you still come out $400 cheaper than the M4 Max. So is the M4 Max worth $400? Well, this is actually pretty shocking because this 14-core version of the M4 Max has the same CPU core count as the M4 Pro. So the only improvement, the only thing your money is getting, all of that money, is a faster GPU, moving up from a 20-core GPU to a 32-core GPU. Now again, the tricky thing here is we do not have the exact benchmarks for this 32-core GPU model to see how much of an improvement it is over the 20-core M4 Pro, but we do know the 20-core M4 Pro benchmark, and we do know the 40-core M4 Pro GPU benchmark. So again, a little bit of the back of the napkin math. I think we could find out something close here. Because we can see the M4 Max is almost double the GPU score of the M4 Pro, and it has double the cores. So the scale here is almost linear, but there is a little bit of degradation. So with a little math, we can find out that there's around a 14% loss in linear power at the top end. And if I apply that to a direct, and I stress this, really back of the napkin math of dividing the core count by the score for the M4 Pro 20 core and then applying a 14% loss, then multiplying that number by 32, we get this number, 152,900, which would be for a Geekbench Metal Score benchmark, which, yes, puts it right in between the M4 Pro and the M4 Max chip. So this result looks in line with what you would expect, and that would give you about a 32% improvement in GPU capabilities over the M4 Pro chip. And that's a pretty sizable improvement, especially when you look at the full 40-core M3 Max, which scores about the same on that benchmark. Basically, this binned M4 Max chip in CPU performance and GPU performance is about the same to the higher end M3 Max chip from last year. But I stress that yes, this is a very expensive chip upgrade for something that is only going to net you a 32% GPU improvement. If you don't utilize your Mac for really GPU intensive tasks like 3D modeling, rendering, or gaming, or something like that, then this upgrade is completely worthless to you. Honestly, I think the base M4 Max, despite how impressive it is matching the older higher end M3 Max, is the worst value upgrade you can make. That's because the jump from M4 Pro to the 14-core M4 Max isn't as impressive as jumping up to the 16-core M4 Max. That's because this upgrade only costs $300 more. But for this $300, you not only get an increase in GPU performance, which is a little smaller at a 23% performance increase over the lower end M4 Max, but you also get 2 additional CPU cores, which nets you an 18% increase in CPU performance as well. But there's always a but, isn't there? Apple again forces you into another upgrade because the 16-core M4 Max does not have a 32 gigabyte option, and the lowest memory you can get on this Mac is 48 gigabytes. So while the chip upgrade is a better value when you look at it from a cost perspective in terms of just the performance jump for what you spend on it, it is way down in value again because Apple forces you to add on more memory. And what if you don't need 48 gigabytes of memory? So while I initially saw these numbers and I thought I would advise that if you're spending this much money anyway to just spend $300 extra and get the maxed out M4 Max chip, I can't really offer that advice unless you also need more memory because now you're spending an additional $500. So what seemed like a no-brainer move actually required a lot of brain power. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right upgrade for you. You have to kind of figure that out for yourself based on what you're doing with your Mac. If you're doing something really intensive that requires a lot of memory and requires a lot of CPU power as well as GPU power, then that M4 Max chip is going to be The M4 Pro MacBook Pro is here, and I'm doing something you probably haven't seen yet because a lot of reviewers are focusing on the maxed out model of either the M4 Pro or the M4 Max chip, but I'm taking a look at the base model M4 Pro chip. This is the one with 12 CPU cores, the one with 16 GPU cores, the one that sits at that nice $2,000 price point and comes with a lot of the nice upgrades. Basically, the base model of the M4 Pro version, and I gotta say, spoiler alert, I was blown away by this Mac. And I think after watching this, you're not going to want to upgrade to anything else. So when you first look at the MacBook Pro, you might not think there's anything new with this model besides just the chip upgrades because it looks exactly the same as the Apple Silicon MacBook Pros we have been getting since 2021. The outward design is exactly the same, but there are some pretty big upgrades here that have nothing to do with the chip. I would say the biggest one is when you actually open up the MacBook Pro, you are getting a better display now that is much brighter. So the old displays for SDR content, which is basically, you know, when you look at things that aren't HDR, every time you look at the desktop or open up a web page, that maxed out at 600 nits of brightness. While on these new MacBook Pros, they now max out at 1000 nits of brightness, and it makes a lot of difference. Now, I believe this 1000 nits of brightness is only toggled automatically when you're in very bright environments or like directly in the sunlight, and it is very bright. It makes things a lot more legible when you're using this MacBook Pro in those brighter environments like the outdoors. Another thing that's really nice is
forget about
the ports,
those
right?
upgrades.
They're upgraded on the USB-C ports. They're now Thunderbolt 5 ports. I don't have any Thunderbolt 5 accessories, but these are really fast ports. They can get up to 120 gigabits per second. I've seen some external drives on the market that can do like 6,000 read or write speeds, and that is actually faster than the internal drive inside of this MacBook Pro. And it's not a slow drive. It gets up to 3,500 write speeds and 5,100 read speeds. But again, you put an external Thunderbolt 5 drive in here, you can get speeds faster than that now. So that is a really nice upgrade to see on the ports, and it could mean maybe driving like a future.
Oh, he posted this 5 minutes
display
ago. Brother, shout out to you again. You're really helping us out. I'm not trying to like play your video on my channel. I'm buying this laptop, and I've been struggling for like the past 2 weeks because of all the configurations. So hope you take it the right way.
120, hertz isn't an impossibility anymore. There's the bandwidth here with Thunderbolt 5. And then the last improvement is actually the webcam. And this is something I talked about in my buyer's guide video as maybe being a weakness, because Apple told us it was a center stage webcam, but they also said
Subscribing, brother.
it was a 12 megapixel center stage webcam, and they never used that wording before. So I wasn't sure if I should expect the same center stage webcam that's in my studio display or in the iPads. That looks a little bit grainy. But on this MacBook Pro, I was pleasantly surprised testing out this webcam that the center stage webcam in the M4 MacBook Pro seems to be much sharper than the studio display version. That's really the only other version I could compare that's in a Mac right now. And it is a big upgrade. I would say that it looks about just as good or even a little bit better than the old MacBook Pro's webcam. And you even get like a nice desk view option where it kind of like, uses that ultra wide angle field of view on the camera. You can kind of see in front of you, but depending on how you position the lid of the MacBook Pro,
Not trying to get in any trouble.
uses that ultra angle. So if you're trying to show off something on your desk, this is the base model version. So you Pro, but really get a better experience. So those are all the feature upgrades inside of the MacBook Pro.
Okay.
But really, the big upgrade inside of this machine is the new M4 Pro chip. Now again, this is the base model version, so you probably have two questions. Number one, how much weaker is this binned M4 Pro chip compared to the full 14-core M4 Pro chip that you can get for an optional $200? And then your second question is also, how much more powerful is this M4 Pro chip compared to the last M3 Pro chip? And you might even be wondering, how much more powerful is the base level M4 Pro chip compared to the regular M4 chip? Well, we're gonna answer all of that. So I have good news for you. I was expecting this M4 Pro chip, and you can go back and watch my previous videos. I did some calculations trying to estimate how powerful this machine would be, and I had it scoring around like an 18,000 in multi-core performance. Well, when we look at a Geekbench benchmark, we can see that no. In single core performance, we are getting that 3,900 area, 4,000 single core performance. We already saw that leaked, but we didn't see the leak for the multi-core performance because Apple did not send this unit out to reviewers. And maybe I could see why, and it's not because it's bad, it's because it's really, really good. So we're getting around a 20,450 multi-core Geekbench score. That is really good. That's only about 2,000 less than the additional $200 M4 Pro machine. And in fact, for that $200, you're only getting a 7% increase in performance, which is not that much. When you're looking at the old M3 Pro version, you're actually getting a 29% improvement over the full 12-core M3 Pro. That was, again, a $200 optional upgrade on last year's model. And then on the base model, the one compared directly against this one, the 11-core version, you're seeing a 37% improvement in multi-core CPU performance.
Unbelievable. So, oh, what's the highest, cheapest? 14-inch? 2. Bro, 2 terabyte is costing me 5,000. Something's wrong. Oh man. Right here. Right here.
Those are huge year-over-year gains for the base model chip. One thing you'll also notice on this chart is that the M4 is basically right in line with the M3 Pro performance. So even if you're getting the lowest end $1,600 M4 MacBook Pro, you're actually getting a machine that performs very similarly in CPU performance to the old M3 Pro machine. So this is a win all around for all base models this year. But CPU is only half the story. What about the GPU performance in this Mac? Well, again, I thought that the 20-core GPU would score much higher than this 16-core version in the M4 Pro in my initial estimates. But again, I was wrong. So I ran a metal GPU benchmark, and you can see that the scores are very similar. In fact, the 20-core version is only a 10% improvement over the 16-core version. The thing that might really surprise me here is maybe how good this Mac might be for gaming. Now again, don't forget, a lot of games aren't optimized for Mac, and even this benchmark I'm running isn't optimized for the Mac, but I ran the Shadow of the Tomb Raider benchmark on the highest settings, and for this Mac, I saw a very stable frame rate the whole time. Usually Macs, even when they're scoring high, they usually have choppy frame rates throughout. And this one scored very high. It scored over 60 frames per second, 74 frames per second to be exact on the average. And that was a 40% increase over the 14 core M3 Pro. But overall, I don't know if you can tell, I am very surprised by the results for this M4 MacBook Pro. This machine is delivering on an insane value right now when you look at these performance metrics and when you look at the configuration itself, right? Don't forget, they also bumped the memory on the M4 Pro chip to now start at 24 gigabytes of memory when it used to start at 18 gigabytes of memory. So you're getting a very powerful CPU. You're getting a pretty good GPU too, all things considered, when you look at last year's model. And the way I would describe this base model M4 Pro is you're kind of getting around the same levels of performance that you did on the M3 Max chip from last year, which was about $1,000 upgrade for that chip over the old M3 Pro. And now you're just getting that as standard in this new M4 Pro machine. And the M3 Pro was kind of a disappointment last year. That chip really was just not that good because it came with a lot of efficiency cores. So it really wasn't all that different from the M2 Pro. But thankfully, that is really different this year. The M4 Pro is outscoring the M3 Pro by a lot. It is a big chip upgrade. Apple is not just focusing on the Max chips this year. Is outscoring the M3 Pro by a lot. It is a big, but thankfully that is really different this year. The M4 Pro is outscoring the M3 Pro by a lot. It is a big chip upgrade. Apple is not just focusing on the Max chips this year. And even though, yes, you can get a more powerful M4 Max chip, you can go even higher than this. I think the story this year is the base models are really good. Really, really, really good. So yeah, if you're looking to buy an M4 Pro base model MacBook Pro.
Thank you very much. Subscribed, liked. I like
What's
this
up,
guy.
everybody? Brian Tong here, and yes, next to me, this is my review for the M4 14-inch MacBook Pro, the M4 16-inch MacBook Pro, and these things pack a whole bunch of power. All right, so we know how Apple Silicon has completely transformed Apple and their Mac lineup, and that holds true definitely with their MacBook Pro lineup. I've had an M1 Max all this time, so I'm really curious how these will perform. This is an M4 Pro 14-inch, and this is an M4 Max 16-inch, right? So two different machines with two different processors, but let's talk about some Max 16-inch, right? So two different machines with two different processors, but let's talk about some of the details here that you can check out that are different from the previous model. So with this, whether it's an M4 or an M4 Pro, MacBook Pro, you'll see here, I'm gonna close this up. There's one Thunderbolt port here, all right? And then over here on this side, there are two Thunderbolts. So that's a combination of three total. Previous generations only had two. And what this enables you to do is obviously connect to more displays. But the biggest thing is if you have the M4 configuration, these are going to be Thunderbolt 4 ports. But if you get the M4 Pro configuration and higher, these are actually going to be Thunderbolt 5 ports that allow you to have faster data transfers and throughput. So that's going to be, I guess you could call it the more upgraded, optimized version. So whether or not, depending on how you use your laptop, that's what's going to be different here. Now, the other big thing, when you look at both of these, the 16-inch, the ports are the same. Yes, it does have Thunderbolt 5, but the design, right, the thickness, the displays, they're all the same, but there's one characteristic that really makes these different, and that's the nano texture display. So what I have here normally, when I'm playing around with this, you'll see when I open up this, the lights will really hit it really harshly. You can even maybe see a little bit of light reflections, but it's completely diffused because this is the new option for a nano texture display. Now that is a $150 upgrade, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this makes this very special because not only do you have the ability for these laptops to have higher brightness, right? You were talking about 1000 nits brightness for SDR content before it was 600. That's gonna matter when you go outdoors and use these. And then also, you add the nano texture display coating as the option. It's that matte finish. As a content creator, someone who takes this on the go, this is a killer option. Yes, the blacks may be slightly less inky.
Make sure you subscribe and like Brian Tong.
Because of the nano texture coating, but the advantage you get to really be able to use this in almost any environment without seeing reflections, without that shiny display, that's an advantage. Also, for people that are curious, if you look closely, the nano texture display covers the entire thing. It covers the bezels. It covers every aspect of it. There's just, even the notch, it covers, except there, if you look closely, the circle where the camera is, that's where it's exposed, so you'll be able to use that 12 megapixel camera with center stage on this display. So everything, right? You might look at something like the iPad Pro where the bezels were still glossy. This entire display has the nano texture. So the big differences here for this lineup, new M4, M4 Pro, and M4 Max chip options. The nano texture coating, that's another option. And then the 12 megapixel center stage camera, and then the Thunderbolt 5 port option if you're on an M4 Pro chip or higher. Otherwise, you're basically gonna get the same. Now, this is I mentioned my M1 Max, this is my workhorse. This is what I've been using since day one. So enough of, talking about specs here, what I've been using since day one. So enough of, talking about specs here. Let's actually talk about benchmarks and real world use, because I think that's gonna reveal how much better performance-wise these have become. Now let's really target in on the M4 Max MacBook Pro. You can check out my channel. We did a review of the Mac Mini that had an M4 Pro, so you can see those benchmarks there. But I'm really looking at the highest of the highs, right? The peak performance laptop that you can get, and that's something that I want to compare it to. So we're going to start off with Geekbench 6 benchmarks. This is going to give us an overall comparison of at least where these machines generally stand. Now this M4 Max MacBook Pro, this is loaded with their 16-core CPU, 40-core GPU. That is typical for the Max models. You got 128 gigs of unified memory and then 4 terabytes of storage for this model. And Apple sent this to me just for the purposes of this review. Okay, so let's look at these Geekbench 6 benchmarks. And yes, there are a lot of numbers. I've included something as far back as the original M1. You got a single core score of 1,755. As you keep on moving along, you'll see the increase in performance. But let's focus in on the M1 Max performance. Now we have M1 Max, that started at a single core score of 2,419. if you're talking about the M4 Max MacBook Pro, single core score, 3,948. So you're getting about a 50% increase in performance there, basic. The M4 Max MacBook Pro, single core score, 3,948. So you're getting about a 50% increase in performance there, basically, from M1 again to M4. Now, the reason why I'm not talking about the M2 and M3 as much is because those gains are a little less. If we look at the multi-core score, look at this. The M1 Max has a 12,587 multi-core score. M4 Max, 25,893. That's a whole lot of performance. All right, now let's check out the Metal GPU scores. Yes, this matters to help out with 3D rendering, video exporting, a lot of places where the GPU really comes into play here. Again, as a point of reference to see where we started, M1 Mac Mini 2020, all right, the most basic level, 22,694 Metal score. Well, let's look at all these numbers and you can see them increase along the way. The M4 Max has a 192,143 Metal GPU score. And then you look at something like the M2 Ultra Max Studio score, which is over 223,000. That thing is still a monster compared to the M4 Max. Okay, so we talked about benchmarks. Yes, they give you at least a general idea of comparison, but what I care about is the real world, right? These machines, how does it apply to the actual stuff that I do? So, of course, we're going to look at the Adobe Premiere video rendering exports.
Please.
So this is the latest version of Adobe Premiere 25.00 running on Mac OS Sequoia 15.1. And let's look at this because the biggest thing about these new chips, yes, the M1 had no media engine. So for a 13-minute video, we're talking about an export time of 10 minutes and 38 seconds. Now, back then, that was actually really good. But now let's fast forward and look along these lines. I'm going to throw out a real comparison here that matters to me. I have an M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro. That time to render and export out that video, 4 minutes and 27 seconds. You go up to the M4 Max MacBook Pro, that's 3 minutes and 39 seconds. So we're talking about a 1-minute difference from what I own to this new M4 Max. You can see all the numbers in between, but for me, I don't know how much that really changes things for my workflow yet. Could I wait an extra minute and not spend an extra $5,000 to $7,000 for a fully loaded machine? I probably can. But then let's look at the Mac M2 Ultra Max Studio, still the king, 2 minutes and 15-second exports. That's in Premiere. That is stupid. All right, let's milk this out for something like a 45-minute video. Yes, we don't really make these videos that often, but it gives us another glimpse into how these machines perform. The M1 Mac Mini, no media engine whatsoever, 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 23 seconds for a 45-minute video export. Keep on going all the way down the line. And again, this comparison I want to shout out, an M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro, 23 minutes and 29 seconds for a 45-minute video export. Jump over to the M4 Max MacBook Pro, the one that we're looking at today, 12 minutes and 58 seconds. So for a long extended project like that, you're looking at almost, the time being cut in half, where that might start like that. You're 12 minutes and 58 seconds. So for a long extended project like that, you're looking at almost, the time being cut in half, where that might start telling you, okay, this is something significant if you're working on long-form projects. A lot of us, we rarely put out 45-minute videos, but it is a sign that, okay, there's a lot of performance in this machine. And then, look, let's not ignore Final Cut Pro, where this is software and hardware optimized to work together. So this is Final Cut Pro 10.8.1, the latest version, again, with macOS Sequoia 15.1. And if we look here, the M1 Mac Mini, okay, back then, this is completely optimized Apple ProRes 422 high quality, 4 minutes and 40 seconds to export a 15-minute video. M1 Max, 16-inch MacBook Pro from 2021, 55 seconds. That's because it has the media engine, which turbo boosts it basically to export these projects with Final Cut Pro. If you look at the M4 Max MacBook Pro, 48 seconds. So you're saving about 7 seconds here. And again, even in Final Cut Pro, I don't know if that's enough for me to really throw down a large amount of cash just for like even a 7-second difference. That makes it hard. And then, yeah, M2 Ultra Max Studio at 37 seconds, stupid, just stupid. So what's my overall take on these machines First of all, I didn't mention it earlier, but the battery power on this is excellent. Now, Apple claims it's 24-hour, can go up to 24 hours. That's gonna depend on how you use it, but I easily got through the day doing all different types of tasks, including video editing and rendering. So performance-wise, battery life, these are impressive. But from a day-to-day, I felt like I use this exactly the same. I think for me, yes, the performance is improved on something like the 16-inch M4 Max, but the biggest change was the nano texture coating. I thought I really was able to use this comfortably and not even flinch about any glare in different environments. That changes, at least for me, where I can comfortably use this. Yes, was I able to do it with a display that had a glare? Sure. But when you get those little kind of extra accoutrements, it does make a difference. Now, I'm not saying that I'm gonna completely upgrade my machine just because there's a 7-second difference in Final Cut Pro and a 1-minute difference in Adobe Premiere with exporting. I'm gonna hold off for now, but there's nothing that tells me like this is an incredible machine. Performance is off the charts. It's just that for me to make another investment of $5,000 to $7,000 for the top tier machine, which is my workhorse, I'm gonna wait for maybe something more, whether it's a different display or a thinner design. But let's also look at this, an M4, all right? Let's not ignore this. An M4 14-inch MacBook Pro, the performance that you even get from that on the base level, this is gonna be able to do more than enough when you're talking about word processing, web browsing, photos, writing documents, and video editing, and photo editing, right? These are not chumps. I like to always tell you all, upgrade when you absolutely have to, upgrade when it's within your budget, and you don't have to upgrade all the time. Pricing wise, the M4 14-inch MacBook Pro, that starts at $1,599. If you're looking at the 16-inch models, that starts with an M4 Pro, $2,499, which was the previous starting price point as before. So incredible machines. If you want my overall take, yes, good Apple, great Apple, solid Apple, it's all the above. These are incredible machines. It's just that I'm not really gonna upgrade yet. I'm gonna wait it out.
So this The new MacBook Pros are here, and while the 14 and 16-inch designs haven't really changed, they're the first MacBooks with Apple's M4 chips and are ready for Apple Intelligence. We had a couple of days to try some of the new features out and give you a glimpse at the new hardware, so let's have a look. So here they are, and as you can see, they don't look strikingly different from the M3 versions, and that's because they aren't. It's really what's inside that's changed this time around, and that's mainly Apple's M4 chips. The M4 first appeared in this year's iPad Pro, but now you can get it in the iMac and Mac Mini and the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros, and that includes new M4 Pro and Max options. We've been testing the M4 and M4 Pro in these, and yes, they're a bit more capable than the M3 overall, but more importantly, they're significantly better than the M1, so if you're looking to upgrade, the new chips will speed things up for you. The M4 Pro and Max also have low and high power modes, so you can adjust performance for what you're doing and whether you're on battery or plugged in. The power mode can have a significant impact on performance, and you can see that from our results from the Geekbench 6 benchmark test. Geekbench is also free for personal use, so if you want to see how your laptop measures up, you can download it and try it yourself. For more test results, check out our written review of the new MacBook Pros on cnet.com. But if you want more of a real-life demo, I can show you what it does for gaming.
So I've pulled up Steam here to play a little Hades 2, just to show you what the gaming is like on the MacBook Pro. But first, we need to make an adjustment to the power mode, and you can do that now right here under the battery setting. There's a drop down now. It tells you energy mode, and you can go from automatic, which is what it's default at, and then you can go to low or high power mode. Now for gaming, you probably want the high power mode. It's going to hurt your battery life, but overall it will give you much better performance. You can use high power mode whether or not the MacBook is plugged in, but of course it's not great for battery life. So you'll want to use low power mode to help with that, and Apple is claiming up to 24 hours of battery life for both sizes. The M3 MacBook reached 21 hours on our test, so getting 3 more hours isn't a stretch. Now, with the M4, you'll also get faster neural engine performance to help with on-device AI tasks like Apple Intelligence. There are a handful of new tools driven by AI for writing and for summarizing email and messages and helping reduce notifications while you work, but a couple of the best new features are in the Photos app. So for one of them is something that a lot of the other apps have, which is a tool called Cleanup, which helps you get rid of things that are in the backgrounds of your photos that you might not want there. So what we're going to do is open up the Photos app, and I've got a photo right here ready to go. Let's just get that bigger, and now we're going to go to Edit in the corner, and your Edit panel will open up, but right up here at the top of the panel is Cleanup. So you're going to click on that, and it automatically goes through the photo looking for things to remove. In this case, it's a bunch of people in the background, which I definitely want out of there. So it'd be nice to have them go and not leave a trace behind. And since Apple's gone and highlighted them, I'm just going to go ahead and click on them, and yep, that one's gone. And then these people back here, let's get rid of those people. Those are gone, no problem. And you can see the image is pretty clean. You can't really see any trace of those people, but we're going to remove these people, and it's a little less successful. So not entirely perfect on that one. You're going to have to fix a little bit of the photo, or unfortunately leave them back in there, and that's all you have to do to get them back, is just to undo, and they're back in the picture. But again, it works pretty well, and I've tried it on a bunch of other images, and if there's things like patterns or something, obviously it's difficult with these people in front of the wall there, so Apple has to recreate the wall, but otherwise it actually works pretty well. Okay, so beyond M4 and Apple Intelligence, there are a few other noteworthy additions, like Thunderbolt 5 with the M4 Pro.
So where are we again? We're cool with 2 TB. And we're not gonna get the
Pro and Max chips. The new MacBook Pros are also the first to have a nano texture display option that greatly reduces reflections and glare. You can see here next to the glossy display of an older MacBook Pro just how well it works. This display also has an SDR brightness of up to 1000 nits when used outside, so the combo really makes it easier to work in sunlight and still see your screen.
Like I said, just the screen difference. I'm sorry, I meant just Thunderbolt 5 difference. So you can get the same screen on all of them, but Thunderbolt 5 is the main. It's really difficult to land, like, where the hell we're gonna land, which one we're gonna land on. Like, this is really fucked up, because you just want to keep going up. This seemed like the best one at the time. By the way, let's pop in this little jazz back and relaxing, laid back. All right, let's see. All right. I mean, look, this is the cheapest one, 2 TB. This is like, if I get this, I'll be fine. And I know that, and I keep trying to get the next latest and greatest, and I'm bugging the fuck out. This one right here, 2 TB, 16 GB unified RAM. Oh wait, gotta add the nano. Right here, 2350. And if you want to go to 2550, then we'll at least have 24 GB RAM. Oh my god, but it's a work computer. I have to remember it's a work computer. I have to remember it's a work computer. It's a work computer. We really need to get it going. So right here. Excuse me. So this one right here, this is the one I'm gonna be buying. All right, well, I appreciate all of you for joining in, whoever stopped by. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully I can catch y'all all again. This looks like a really good one. If not this one, I mean, it should be. Maybe this one. Gotta get the nano texture. Nano texture, 2 terabyte. 24 gigabyte might be okay. I think that'll be fine. What happens 36? Just what happens? It's a lot of money. But I'll have the max chip. It's fucked up. 37, and what happens here? But they keep saying you guys have no idea how good the base model is. Right here. M4 Pro. I'm over it. We'll wait. Black Friday. But I do need a computer so bad. Oh man. I'm about to buy like an Air. For Pro. base, 16 GB RAM. Cause look what I'm good because I got 2 TB. Wow. Did we find the one that I want to get toward the end? Base M4, 32 GB. Let me see. 2349. What happens if I do this? $23.49. Better chip. A little bit less RAM, but nothing crazy. I think this is great right here. I have it. Hilarious. Am I buying this right now? I might. I can't. Checkout available at 6 p.m. Would you look at that? Gotta make sure. All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Love y'all. Honestly, I do. We will be buying.